Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Brian, and in today's video I'm very excited to talk to you about something that will help you saw straight in the workshop. Many people are intimidated by the idea of cutting a right angle or a 45-degree angle with a handsaw instead of their power tools. And this is where saw guides that are being sold come into play. A magnetic saw guide is supposed to help you make a straighter cut. One potentially nice thing about a magnetic saw guide is that I could bring the saw guide and my saw to the workpiece instead of having to pick up a heavy workpiece, dragging it across the shop and putting it on the table saw. Here's an example of one. Here you can see 3 neodymium magnets that are put into the face, and when we put our saw up against that, it'll snap against it, and then we're able to move this along and create a straighter cut. So there are several things I don't like about current guides that are on the market, and let's start with this is made of aluminum. Our saw blade has set on it, and each of the teeth lean to the right or left, as you can see in the picture, and these can come into contact with the aluminum frame. And here you can see on the bottom, if you were able to look close, you see the nick marks of my saw blade. So over time this is going to damage my saw blade, but on one side, and then will cause the cut to drift. A second thing I don't like about many of those magnetic saw guides that I've encountered is that they're very awkward. So I'm cutting a workpiece that's a couple inches, like a frame to a door, and then I put this long saw guide on here, and it's very awkward. There's nothing to register it against the work face. I have to buy some additional clamps, so I've doubled my cost, and then I still have trouble aligning this to the workpiece without a lot of work. So what we want from our magnetic saw guides, we want it to be simple. We want it to be low cost, and we want it to be easy to use. And by easy to use, what I mean is that I want to be able to put it up against a workpiece, grab my saw and cut 45s and 90-degree angles without the use of additional tools. So because I could find nothing that I liked on the market, I decided to make one myself, and today I'm going to share it with you. This clip shows cutting a 45-degree angle with the magnetic saw guide. The guide registers against the edge of the board, aligns at a 45-degree angle, and allows us to cut this 45-degree angle very accurately. This is an example where we lay out a line that is square across the face of the board on a 1x6. And here we use our magnetic saw guide to cut that entire width. We thought this would be a really good test because most of the work pieces we're going to be cutting are going to be less than 6 inches wide. So you might be wondering how we made this, and so we're going to tell you, but it's not just one prototype, or 2, or 3. It turns out we had 4 prototypes before we reached a design that we really liked. This picture shows 2 of the early prototypes. The one on the right was made of cherry, and I chipped it when using my shooting board, whereas the one on the left, as you will see, worked well functionally, but is not very aesthetic. This picture shows some neodymium cylindrical magnets that were used in our first prototype. The problem with those is that the only thing holding them in was the glue, and you needed a press-fit hole in order to get them to stay. Here you can see our final solution for the magnets. We've used some magnetic catches, and we've recessed them below the surface so we don't scratch our blade. Before installing the magnets, we have to drill a hole to the proper size or depth, and we also have to drill a pilot hole. So here you see I'm doing a little bit of trial and error and checking the depth of the hole, and I also drill a pilot hole with the Yankee hand drill. As a first check to see if we can cut a 90-degree angle, I used a square, laid out a line, and then used the magnetic saw guide to see if it also reproduced that line. This test cut on this oak workpiece is a little bit different. You can see that instead of holding the magnetic saw guide with my hand, I've instead clamped it to the oak workpiece, and I'm trying to see if this also produces a square cut. This picture shows that clamping the magnetic saw guide down results in a square cut for this oak workpiece. This is our third prototype, and although we had already made a functionally prototype, we wanted to have one that looked more aesthetic, and so we're using walnut and hard maple on this prototype. In addition, I should point out that this was made on the CNC machine, so here you will see our joinery is offset because I didn't want to have to do a double-sided machining. This is a picture of the layout for the location of our magnet locations. Here you can see they're going to be centered on the thickness of the stock and placed near the edges. This is now my third prototype where I'm drilling the holes for the magnets, drilling pilot holes, and then installing the screws to hold the magnets in place. My finish for this project was a simple combination of oil and beeswax. This was chosen because it will reduce the friction at the interface of the saw blade and the magnetic saw guide. These are some completed pictures of our magnetic saw guide. Here you can see that we have an interface to cut both a 90 and a 45-degree angle, and there are only two magnets on each of these interfaces that hold the saw blade in, and there's also a little ledge there that allows us to provide registration whenever we want to cut either a 45 or a 90. This is our test guide after we finished making the walnut and maple magnetic saw guide. Here you can see that we first make a line that's square with the edge, and then we use a handsaw and we hand hold the magnetic saw guide, and then afterwards we check the edge or the end of the board for square. I use the table saw to cut the interlocking joining for the triangle, or the tongue that goes on the bottom of the triangle. To center the tongue, you'll see that I flip the workpiece around and run it back through the table saw. This creates two vertical slots, but does not yet give us the final shape that we want for our tongue and groove joinery. To create the final shape we want, or the tongue for the tongue and groove joinery, what we do is we lie the board on its face and we run it through the table saw. The table saw blade is adjusted to the height that we want to create the shoulder. This gives us nearly the shape we want, but we're going to trim this up. I'm now making the base for the final prototype, and I'm using a plow plane. I start at the end of the board and work my way backward to create a clean groove. One thing to note is that I set the depth stop for my plow plane prior to turning the camera on. I should also note that you could have created the same groove with a router, or perhaps even your table saw if you wanted to. I'm now ready to cut the base to length. I do this by drawing a perpendicular line with a combination square, and then I use the previous version magnetic saw guide, or generation 3, to help cut a square end piece. We're now ready to do a trial fit, or to test how things fit together and see if we need to make any adjustments. I'm using a rabbet plane here to trim up the edges. A rabbet plane is particularly helpful in this case because the blade goes all the way to the edge of the hand plane. Instead of using a combination square to lay out the 45-degree angle we need to cut, I decided to use our magnetic saw guide, or the previous version of the magnetic saw guide. I now use the miter gauge on the table saw to cut a 45-degree angle and cut out my triangle. With both of our parts being cut, I'm now checking the fit for how they come together. So here I rotate it around, and here you can see that the front of the triangle sticks out the front of the base. After assembling the two pieces I just made, I still need to remove the piece of the right triangle that sticks out from the base. I did this with a crosscut saw, but I could have used a flush cut saw as well. Here's some pics of our final two prototypes set next together. Here you can see one's made out of hard maple and walnut, whereas the other one's made out of cherry and walnut. While I thought both versions looked nice, I did have a preference for the walnut and maple one. We are now going to check the accuracy of our magnetic saw guide by cutting a 45-degree angle. The saw guide registers nicely against the edge of the board, and I can feel the blade being drawn in to the magnets. After we're done cutting the 45-degree angle, we're going to check its accuracy with a combination square. I was excited to cut this 1x6 because I thought it would be a true test of the accuracy of the magnetic saw guide, given that this board is much longer than the magnetic saw guide. Here I register the magnetic saw guide against the edge of the board, and then go about cutting the board, and then I'm going to check with the combination square whether or not we've achieved a good cut across the entire length of the board. Thank you for watching today's video, and don't forget to like and subscribe. If you would like to make one of these for yourself, we will have plans available on our Etsy site, which will be in the description below. In addition, if you would just like to have one and give it a try, we will have it available on our website as well.